So I'm really bothered and concerned that something is not going to happen, because I was thinking that I really want a 40-day warning. I still guess that might not happen. I might not get a 40-day warning, but I feel like I've seen signs that suggest that there should be a 40-day warning. You know, it kept me waiting 11 years, and I feel like I'm constantly obsessed about trying to like research into the rapture and find out like why, when it's going to happen. And I feel like I'm doing this because I know that this is how I'm going to find out about when people are going to talk to me. You know, I'm still highly confused over who knows and who doesn't know. I don't know what to say when it comes to Diddy, because I never thought he was following or knew or believed. And you know, I think if he knew that God was a female and that, you know, God was doing stuff in and is going to come soon, you know, he would not have done the long list of things that people have said he's done over the last, you know, 11 years. I found out that I was God in 2013. I don't know who has been saying stuff or what they've been saying, and I don't know who knows, but I feel like there's a small number of people who know, because I feel like if a large number of people would have known, you know, they would be telling all their friends, and their friends would be telling all their friends, and it would be all over the place by now. You know, this is world-changing news that's going to change everything, and I'm confused. You know, I'm sure all these people, all these singers, if they knew about me, they would tell their friends, and their friends would tell their friends. So maybe there's a group of people who know and have been controlling the music, so the producers know, or whoever's writing the songs know, but somehow they've got the people at the bottom to not say anything. I mean, that's maybe what's happening. I don't know. Or they've got the singers not to know anything, so maybe they generally don't know. And I don't know what's going to happen, but I know things need to come in stages. I would say stage one would be to tell people that, you know, come and rapture me, and I don't know when this day is that you're going to fucking talk to me. And I'm assuming that I'm going to get a 40-day warning, and well, the fact that it's in 40 days time, it's now past June. Christ is supposed to come on the first day of, you know, the Feast of Trumpets, which is the first 2 days of June, and well, that's in less than 40 days now, and you haven't given a 40-day warning. So I'm thinking maybe that nothing is going to happen this summer. Am I waiting for the full day? I don't know. I know when I would want myself to be exposed as being Christ, and I know that I want that on June the 13th. And I don't want you to just come to me randomly. I want to fucking know. I want, you know, I want to have people come to me, go to some house, and then later on, when people, you know, look back, what day did this Anna's sacrifice end? And well, they could say, you know, oh, remember that time that they were promoting this, I don't know, say they can get a girl in 2011. There was this girl that was promoting, she writ all over a car that the end was going to happen on this day. You know, I would love to see something like that, like a big. You can just get a bunch of mad people and get them to somehow believe that it's going to happen on a certain day. I mean, if you're going to get anyone to convince the day, it's going to probably be, you know, on the Hebrew calendar or something. So maybe you do come to me on the Hebrew calendar. I don't want anything to do with the Hebrew calendar, but technically the Hebrew calendar is how I first met Martin. I met him March the 11th. But I last saw him on April 23rd, and that happened to be the first new moon after the spring equinox plus 15 days. So I did actually leave him or not see him again from Passover on the Hebrew calendar, not on my calendar. So maybe people come and talk to me then. I don't know, but I know that I'm going to need a lot of time to learn to trust people, learn to like them again, or not like them again. I don't think I'll ever like them again. You know, I think humans are horrible creatures, and they're my 100% enemy, all of them enemy. They're stupid, can't think logically. You know, I watched a thing about Diddy, and it's just a huge long list. This person said this person said this person said, and it sounds very reasonable, very plausible. Oh yeah, well, you can't have all these people complain. This person said this person said this person said this. I mean, it sounds completely normal. But then if you think about the type of people that actually exist in America, I was on that same video, they put a trial of some woman talking with a judge trying to negotiate. I don't want to listen to you, and she was ratting on like that, like some horrible, like kind of boasting about, I'm speaking, I'm going to continue speaking. And she was talking to a judge. It was just like, well, with people like that, then I don't know who to trust. A list of names, this person said this person said this, that means absolutely nothing to me, because I could do exactly the same with Christianity. I could get every single person who believes in Satan. This person met Satan on that day. This person met Satan on this day. This person met Satan on that day. And because of all these claims, they can't all be wrong. So Satan therefore must be real. This person doesn't believe in God. This person doesn't believe in God. This person doesn't believe. Because of all these claims, this person, they're obviously not. They're obviously telling the truth. They've obviously God can't be real. And then you can do it with difference. Oh, Allah, this person says that God prefers to be called Allah. This person prefers God prefers to be called Allah. This person, and this one said, oh, Yahweh. No, this one said that Yahweh. If I got every single person who uses the word Yahweh and thinks that Yahweh is the better word for God rather than Allah or God, I could easily do this. And if Diddy has been going to loads of parties throughout his life, he's like 60, there probably are a ton of people who have had experiences where they've drunken too much and sort of semi passed out, and then think that, oh, it's drugs, that it's drug related, I was passed out because of drug related. I've definitely have passed out because of some, I don't know, that night in LA was the only time that I've ever had 2 drinks and then woken up in a hospital and not remembering how I got there. That's the only time that's ever happened to me. If though I would have had 3 or 4 drinks beforehand, I might have not been able to tell the difference. But that's the thing with alcohol. If you get drunk, sometimes it does feel like you've had drugs, because technically alcohol is a drug, and you can lace drinks with something. But I went to Thailand. There's plenty of people there that were promoting, oh, do you want a mushroom cocktail? And then I was like, what's in it? I think I've actually even had one of them, but it wasn't like a massive one. It was like, sometimes you get like sweets and they put mushrooms or some type of drug in them, but technically it's like such a small amount that you could just eat them as sweets. I think I've had 1 or 2 and they just put them in the drink, but it's so mild that you don't notice anything. So lacing a drink with drugs could just mean that. And therefore, if he does boast about doing this, on one hand, some people might actually like that. I don't want to spend £10 on a mushroom drink, but oh, what, you're going to pour a drop of your mushroom drink into mine? That way I have a sort of small taste of it. Okay, technically the drink has been laced, and technically it might be against, someone's knowledge, but it's not about the drink being laced. It's about what it's laced with, how much it's laced with, what it's actually going to affect. Is it just going to loosen up a person? And also how much knowledge of what the people have been drinking have had. If you know that they've just come from a bunch of bars and they could have had like loads and loads of drinks and they really should be stopping, then you shouldn't be doing it. But if you know that it's the start of the evening and it's a mild, I don't know, you can get some cannabis candy or something, if you lace it with cannabis candy, technically you can get chocolate alcoholics, alcohol chocolate that has alcohol in it, and if I give someone an alcoholic chocolate but don't tell them it's alcohol, technically I've just kind of spiked their chocolate in a way, and they might taste it and stuff. But I don't know, there's lots of different degrees of things, and therefore I was listening to that list and I'm just like, I don't know the details, and everything is so blase that it makes it look bad. But if you don't know who's saying what, and then you just, and I don't know any of these people who are claiming to know about me, so I don't know what they know, and I don't know if they would be on my side if they found out about me, and I don't know how long I have to wait living in this unknowing state. But if whoever's keeping me in this unknowing state is keeping everyone else in an unknowing state, then maybe that's possible. I don't know. I don't understand how you could know that I'm God and that I'm Christ and yet ignore me for 11 years. But if you're capable of doing that to me, then you're also capable of doing it to the singers and celebrities. But what I don't understand is why their songs would be linking to certain things in such a dramatic way if they didn't know things. So I'm sure they must know certain stuff, but what they know, when they found out, I don't know. it is definitely winding me up. But yes, there is one thing that bothers me, is that if things are going to happen to the world in the same way it happened to me, then there is one detail that I've always left out, which is Martin. You know, I started knowing who I was after I met Martin. That was when I started noticing the songs were linking to me. Okay, I guess that was the spirit, and I noticed it from after I met him, because every song I clicked on seemed to remind me of him. And it's like, it was almost like someone knew what I was going to experience, or knew what was going through my mind, knew what the conversation I had with Martin was, and then went years back in time to write songs that would link to that day when I listened to the song, and start thinking about the conversation, or the song will make me think of the conversation that I had with Martin. And, you know, that was starting to happen. And if things are going to play out in the same way that it happened to me, then maybe I need to be raptured, helped at some point soon, and then go into just a period where I just am recovering a bit. And then Martin, he's done absolutely nothing for 11 years. You know, maybe he actually does become the leader of, what's that, seven state thing that they had. I don't know. There's the UN or something, the leader of the UN, or there's a 7 state. I don't know what it's called. The 7 UN states. I don't know what it's fucking called. I don't know anything about politics. But there is something about the G7. Maybe he becomes the leader of the G7 in March. Maybe they announce him as the leader. I met him March the 7th to 11th, so maybe they could have a meeting on that day. And I mean, if this nothing happens this summer, and if you are going to come to get me, I don't know, I don't like the idea. I really don't like the idea of having to go a whole nother winter in England, freezing cold, because I'm too cheap to put the heating on. I don't want to do that. But I don't know. I've got money, so I shouldn't have to feel like I need to go back to massage. I don't want to do massage. But yeah, if that's what's going to happen, you're going to come and get me at some point, and then just allow me to go on holidays, do things without, you know, having the public stare at me wherever I go, because, you know, once I'm exposed as being Christ, I will not be able to live a normal life, because I'm going to be recognized by the public everywhere. So maybe I should be helped soon, and then have a chance to just live a normal life, or live a nice life that a rich person would get to live. And then in March, Martin become on the scene, and perhaps people even should say that Martin is the Son of God, because he is. I mean, that would be another test, that, you know, if people want to see the Son of God, well, that is Martin. And if you don't believe, well, then you don't have a spiritual connection. I mean, technically I don't like the guy, so if you don't like the guy, then that's fine. I mean, technically I don't know the guy, but I don't like how he's ignored me for 11 years. But he was what woke me up. So maybe there should be something that helps wake the world up, which is him, and him going on the scene as the Son of God, just to test the world, to see what they say. And then in June, but I still want the 40-day rapture warning. I'd still want that of me, because then at least there'll be a day when you would be able to say, when did Anna first get spoken to by people? And you can be like, well, remember that event that everyone thought that the world was going to end and it didn't. You know, if there was an event like that, then at least everyone will know what day my torment was ending, and then they would understand. If they knew that I'd gone through 11 years of connecting with things throughout time in my daily life, like constantly, for years on end. I had a little bit of a break in the middle, but you know, it's been hugely traumatic, and if they knew that, then they would understand why there was a break between me, that ending, and me being exposed to the world.